It's currently 6 9 22 23 22:38 Central Time. And I was just pondering about the path itself. I was just pondering the path. Dudes be all hype about who's in charge or who's in power, who's in the lead. I think I did make that video before. That I did make that video. Balance liberation. Step up, I'm out. It's like if I said, whoever you choose, they have to follow the path, or it would basically be a failure. So, like I said, I really personally don't give a fuck because I already set the bar high as hell. It's like basically get to the stratosphere. Like, I say, the only person you're gonna find nearest to me is probably a Buddhist monk. And I can't even. I'm just going by the lifestyle, or like a Buddhist, or maybe a Brahmin. I mean, those type of beings. But how many of them actually are doing something as far as revolution? They're out in the Himalayan mountains, or isolation, away from people, not worried about getting things started or doing anything. They're in their own little world of isolation. They're doing their own personal shit. They're not really doing anything that's going to benefit the people on the scale that helps everybody from every culture, etc., etc. They're not really voicing their opinions about doing something productive. Now said, well, whoever you choose is like the Republic. Unless nobody really wants to be in that position, unless you're like somebody like Thrasymachus, that's going to benefit your friends, or like today's Congress, benefiting their sponsors, etc. But if they're going to be right down the middle and is not able to be corrupted, they don't want the position because they aren't looking to get a benefit from it. They're not looking to get any money or have some, they're just there to do the job. So to them, or to I, it would be a very undesirable position. And as Socrates stated, we must implement a punishment for them, or even pound into their head that if they don't do it, one who is worse will take over the spot. So that's what I was saying. Like, I don't care. Dudes be all hype. I'm like, hey, I got over 11 years of being celibate, so I set the bar in my own spectrum high as fuck. So I hope whoever you ride with can see. That's why I said, yeah. That's what I was. So, like I said, even a lot of the guys I look up to, like a lot of the elders, they haven't even. They're doing a lot of shit, or a lot of progressive activities, but they still haven't walked the path. That's why I say Dr. King and Brother Minister got killed, because they still, as it says in the Corinthians or Colossians, that though marriage is a sin, it's a forgivable sin. But it says he who is a virgin consistently ponders upon the multiverse, and those who are married worried about how to please their spouse and their children. So it's like the Socrates, like their Plato. It's actually a sacrifice of one's own duty for the betterment of the state or the country or whatever. In this case, should be humankind or the planet, the Great Mother. But that's the whole aim for it. So they're worried about trying to put somebody in a position who basically, like after Akhenaten or in Sun Tut, somebody who's going to be a pawn, somebody who's going to be a yes man and give them all they want. They really don't care about. That's what I'm realizing. Like, they really don't care about injustice. Like I said, a lot of immigrants that came over here, they said they were fleeing oppression, but yet when they got over here, they saw oppression of the black man, and it didn't bother them. They stayed there. They didn't run nowhere. They didn't go nowhere else. So, like I said, it's not. They don't hate the idea of oppression. They hate the idea of it being them who's oppressed. And you even see it today, like all these, even with these new hustles. The multiverse has proved them to be the devil's offspring. You got, of course you already know the other side, but now you got all these little black young boys making money off these hustles. And look how they act. just like the spoiled other half who came from privilege. Now they're no longer acting. They no longer have that humble, meek. They got the same hateful, nasty, entitled energy of those who are sons and daughters of oppressors and live the entitled life. So that's my theory. They really don't care about oppression. They really don't hate oppression. They just hate the fact that they are the victims or targets of oppression. And once you give them money or give them out of it, they'll enjoy their life and say, and unlike Plato's The Republic, instead of going back down into the cave to help those others who are in poverty or also being oppressed, they're going to join right with the ranks of those who they were hating on yesterday, come out benefiting from their backs and be right there with a party as they're doing right now. Like all these young boys that told all that shit a couple of years ago, now they're getting these little hustles. They're not worried nothing about those who, especially back on the continent, who are living a hard life. They ain't doing nothing for a revolution. They ain't doing nothing for against oppression. George Floyd is still happy when you go to Dr. Richie Rashad's show or Rashad Richie show, Undisputable. George Floyd is happening every fucking day. Every fucking day currently here in 2023. So that shows you they don't really care about oppression. As long as oppression doesn't touch them, it's tolerable. So that's what they're trying to put in power, or somebody they can follow, somebody who basically can be a yes man and give them all they desire. They hate a black man that speaks his heart and speaks his mind and isn't casual. Return to Dark Side of the King.